go visit John Morant when he goes to participate in the Chris Paul camps? Will you be able to make a stop over there and see how that's all going?
I don't think so right now, Ed. That's during one of our own camps here. So I trust that he'll be in good hands and have an excellent experience there at camp. So one of our other coaches maybe stopped through. But it'll be good for him to get away from us and hear another voice. And I think I talked about it when the announcement was made. You know, we've had Isaiah in that camp before. Know a lot of people who have worked the camp, and it's Chris Paul's camp, and not in name. He's there, very involved with them, does a lot of teaching, hands-on, not only on the court but in the film room. So it's going to be a great experience for Ja.
How have things gone so far this summer?
Oh, we've had a great summer, having a lot of fun with our team, really like our guys. I think we have a talented group of individuals, really spending a lot of time instilling the foundation of our program, our core values and beliefs, and what we want our team to be about. But still, we're a work in progress. We're just that right now, a collection of talented individuals, and we're working hard to build a team out of this group.
From a leadership standpoint, all three of your team captains from last year are no longer here, in Byron, Jonathan, and Terrell. Has anybody stepped up into that leadership role? If you can.
Well, I would think I'd point to the four returners who played such a significant role on that team. The three seniors, Shaq, Anthony, and Breon, and then Ja as a sophomore, and I think it's critical for him to take a big step forward there. And not only because he's a returning all-league player, but because he's our point guard and the ball's in his hands so much. So I think they're doing a nice job there. Still plenty of room for growth.
How's Tevin Brown coming along?
He's doing very well, fully healthy. Hasn't had any lingering effects from the broken foot that he suffered last season. Has made a full recovery, and I think he's having a nice summer so far. He's getting stronger. Possesses a very important skill in that he shoots the ball well from the three-point line. And I think it's an important summer for him to take a big step forward going into what is now his freshman season.
Coach, what have you guys been able to do with the group of guys outside of basketball? I mean, it is summer, so have you guys taken any trips, any camping trips, anything?
No, I don't think camping's going to be on the docket for our group, but we ran the Murray Main Street Mile there on July 4th. That was a good time. We've had some cookouts, and we spent a day on the lake, which was a great experience for our team and a lot of fun. So on top of that, I thought our guys, really want to praise them. That they've done a great job this summer as camp counselors in our summer camps. Really been terrific with the kids at camp, and I think it's been good for them to see maybe the frustrations of coaching at times as they've been able to teach and help young kids in our community. So they've been terrific. I've been really proud of what they've been able to do there.
Obviously, you'll have a lot of new names that will be contributors this year, but where do you take the step from a progressive standpoint? Obviously, your defense and your offense were fantastic last year. Where would you like to see improvement in 2018-19?
Oh, I look at every year as different, so there'll be no comparison to last year or 10 years ago. We'll just work to build the best team that we can with these players. I think the foundation, as always, has to be at the defensive end of the floor. Offensively, we want to execute and be very unselfish and share the ball and do all those great things that lead to winning. So I think the special teams are very important as well, which was a strength of last year's team. It's the one area that last year's team probably didn't get enough credit. It was an incredibly smart team. They really had a high basketball IQ, execution after timeouts, on special situations was phenomenal, and just their domination in the second half of games to make adjustments at halftime and come out and just really it was a group of players that finished. They finished every game strong. So nothing really changes there. I mean, we got some different pieces, but the goals all remain the same.
Do any of the newcomers stand out at this point?
Oh, they're all doing well. We haven't really – I'm not in evaluation phase of our talent right now. My main focus this summer is just to get the foundation of our program established with the newcomers, that they understand how hard you work, they understand the meaning of what it's about to play at Murray State, what a privilege it is to be here, the tradition, the history of our program, the defensive foundation, the unselfishness offensively, all those type things. I think as we get into the fall, the evaluation process will really speed up as to who's going to be able to crack the rotation, who starters will be, and so on and so forth there.
Coach, how's the chemistry built? I mean, obviously you have some new faces in here. How have you seen that progress over the summer?
Really good. I'm really pleased. It's a fun group of players, high character guys. I think they all understand that it's going to take a team effort to be successful, and I think they all want to contribute to that. I'll say the same thing I said last summer. Chemistry is always great in the summer. Minutes haven't been passed out, starting jobs haven't been established, so on and so forth. So, once we start to get into the process of defining roles, hopefully accepting roles, and then thriving and starring in our roles, then we'll see where we're at from a chemistry standpoint. But I really like our guys and the work ethic and togetherness they've shown at this point.
We've seen several offers go out to young men across the South. Where will your recruiting trails take you over the next couple of weeks?
As far as positions or cities and towns and locations?
Positions. Locations on the court.
Just same as every year. We recruit every position because I don't want to just get caught up in saying, hey, we have to have a 6'3" 2-guard with this scholarship. I want us to get the best players we can get who fit what we do. And so we don't get caught up in necessarily saying you have to be this position or this height or whatever it might be. Just want to get great players who fit the Murray State culture and want to be a part of a great program.
How pivotal is summer recruiting, being you don't have any basketball games to prep for or anything like that? You just have that time to window recruiting visits and all that other stuff. How pivotal?
Well, it always has been. As you look at the July period, it's an opportunity to get out and see a lot of players from all over the country and some great events. And to a lot of guys we've already been recruiting, but you still have the opportunity to identify some new players, new prospects, and really start to homework some of them. So it's always, for every program in the country, a critical month here.
Is there any particular aspect of his game that you've had Breon work on over the summer?
Whitley or Sanchez?
Sanchez.
Oh, I think obviously the strength of his game during his time here, and we saw especially the last 15 games last season, is his IQ at the defensive end of the floor and his ability to impact the game there. I think you also saw guys like Jonathan Stark and Ja Morant really benefit from his ability to screen and get guys open. One of the things I want to see him continue to grow in all of our forwards is when you get to play with an elite point guard like Ja, is you get put in some opportunities to finish plays around the basket. And I think that needs to be a strength of his as we go into the next season.
Speaking of Stark, he had a pretty decent NBA Summer League experience. Yeah. What's your take on that, and have you heard any news as to where maybe his next destination is?
Don't have any news, but really proud of him. Not surprised at all. I think he quickly showed that he belonged out there. It was really neat. Our Cody Cohen, who does our video, made a nice video, and saw him doing all the same things he did while he was here. Scoring off ball screens, creating his own shot, getting other guys open looks. Not surprised at all. He's a great player, and I just hope he continues to thrive and gets an opportunity wherever that might be.
Coach, back to the recruiting trail. The game of basketball, I think, has changed a little bit. We're looking at a lot more shooters now. Have you seen that as a coach when you're out recruiting?
Oh, I think it's a critical part of the game. You look at some of our success last season was our ability to consistently make three-point shots and get good looks at the offensive end of the floor. And then I think we finished somewhere 5th or 6th in the country in three-point defense. So I think it's a very important stat. Obviously for us, we lose 2 of the best to ever shoot threes at Murray State, in Jonathan Stark and Terrell Miller. So it was critical for us to identify those things in this past recruiting class that we're able to still shoot it well from three. But I think that's always something we'll look at as a key aspect of our recruiting.
There are several schools in the next couple of weeks that will go on foreign tours. When you're eligible to do that in the next year or two, is that something you hope to do if you can financially make that happen?
We would love to. Next summer will be our next turn to make one of those trips happen. We haven't made any plans at this point. I do know we won't be returning to Canada on the next one. We've gone there the last 2 times. We had the opportunity, and I'd love to go somewhere warm with a beach when we have the chance to do it again.
Your freshmen, what can you tell us about their development right now throughout the summer, and just how much maybe they're fighting for minutes on this team?
Oh, it's so early, Ed. I love them. They're doing great. They've worked extremely hard in the weight room. Usually for most high school players, that's a big adjustment to come in and lift 4 days a week for an hour and 15 minutes, and the intensity and the stress that puts on their body. So they've done a really nice job there. I think just trying to learn as much as they can, and then not to continue to come back to the same answer, but just really start to understand, what it means to play here, and how hard you have to work, and what kind of investment and commitment it takes to have success at this level. So really pleased with all of our newcomers and the steps they're taking at this point.
Have you finished the schedule, or is that something you're still working on?
Still working, Will. It's still got a little bit of work to do. Hopefully here in early to mid-August we'll be closer to completion, but nothing new to report there, unfortunately.